An intergalactic shaved gorilla crashes to Earth, gets real pissed off about it, and goes about eliminating every single flannel shirt in the Tri-County area. Great green globs of greasy, grimy greetings, gang. Mutilated movie reels, naked flesh that gives us feels. Great green globs of greasy, grimy greetings, gang. And now a sad bassoon. Hope you're all raring to go for a return to the 1982 Don Dohler delight, Nightbeast. A sickly space saga about an extra testy extraterrestrial in a shiny jumpsuit and the curly-haired badass sheriff who's out to stop it. So let's not waste any more time and send it down to Abraxas for that sleaze docket.
We have 25 dead bodies, 12 cups blood, 4 naked breasts, 3 naked butts, 1 naked bajingo, pew pew blaster opening credits, spacecraft exploding, sniper destroyed blaster, blouse rippery, lackluster pool party, 1 Home Alone style electric trap, gratuitous flannel shirts, gratuitous fog machines, gratuitous helmet hair, gratuitous fisticuffs, gratuitous wire rigging, tripping while running away cliche, infinite ammo guns cliche, 80s dirt bike cliche, 9 vaporized bodies, 2 vaporized cars, 2 disembowelings, 2 indeterminate slashy deaths, 2 vaporized children, 1 strangulation, 1 armectomy, 1 double mastectomy, 1 decapitation, fatal face scratchy times 2, repeated face smash to the ground, shotgun blast to the chest, 1 electro-fried human, 1 electro-fried alien, and 1 horrific obligatory sex scene.
Nightbeast was written and directed by Don Dohler, who has an interesting cult following among his half-dozen or so films. But of the 3 that I've actually seen, Nightbeast is far and away my favorite. But does that assessment survive multiple viewings? We start in the vast, cold infiniteness of space, where the giant version of your mom's favorite vibrator is rocketing through our solar system. It's suddenly struck by an asteroid, or whatever, which forces it to make a crash landing in the Alabama of the Milky Way. The beastie inside escapes just as the ship goes kablooey, and it sets off towards the nearest town to slake its bloodlust and get a little something to eat. One of the many flannel-clad residents of this county hears the crash.
What the hell was that?
And runs to inform Sheriff Cinder of the spooky fireball off in the distance. Cinder calls up Deputy Lisa and rounds up a flannel posse to check it out. While he does that, the alien vaporizes a few folks, disembowels a dude, and even kills a couple of kids. Eventually, the sheriff and his crew meets up with the intergalactic beastie, who goes all fucking Contra on their asses. After a whole bunch of humans get vaporized, the sheriff retreats. And for those wondering about the score, this happens at the 17-minute mark of the movie, and the alien has already racked up 14 kills. That, folks, is how you kick off a goddamn movie, I tell you what. The rest of the film is, more or less, Sheriff Cinder trying to track down the alien, as well as try to figure out how to permanently stop a bulletproof killer. At one point, he's able to level the playing field a bit when he calls up the local crack shot to snipe the blaster to pieces. Unfortunately, the alien is almost as dangerous unarmed and continues to kill folks across the county. Cinder tries to get the mayor's help, but the timing just couldn't be worse as the governor is coming to town and there's a lot of mayoral ass-kissing to be done. So Cinder's request for a full evacuation and a call-in for military assistance fall on deaf ears. Thankfully, though, Cinder's a bigger badass than that curly clown wig hair would suggest.
What did the mayor say?
He said we can't evacuate the town.
So what do we do?
We start evacuating the town, that's what we do.
Wicker's not gonna like it.
Tough shit.
And then we get a little side story crap about the local biker punk because we can't just have an alien threat. We gotta have a fat, greasy troublemaker to complicate things even further. Drago here just gets in the way. Then he murders some girl he isn't seeing anymore. We get a ridiculously choreographed fight. And then he comes back at the end to add a little extra tension to the finale before someone finally just kills the bastard. Along the way, the alien goes snooping around the doctor's office for some meat, and the staff manages to learn the creature is susceptible to electricity by way of this goofy-ass Home Alone-style trap. Ultimately, the sheriff and what's left of his crew lure the alien into a high-voltage electrical trap, and Jamie here is forced to sacrifice himself in order to keep the Nightbeast stuck in the wires when they turn on the juice. Jamie is fried to a crispity-crunchity golden brown, and the alien explodes into a pile of sparkly fireworks. And we roll the credits. And I like that aspect about this movie the most. It's called Nightbeast. It begins and ends with the Nightbeast. There's no prologue before the Nightbeast, nor epilogue after the Nightbeast. Without the Nightbeast, there's no damn movie called Nightbeast. All too often, a movie's title sells you a product that you just aren't getting. And honestly, it gets pretty old. But not here. The title says Nightbeast, and you get some goddamn Nightbeast. And when there's no more Nightbeast, Nightbeast ends. This one is proof positive that you don't need an overly complicated plot. Just make sure you deliver the goods once that plot is engaged. We get some fairly decent gore, though some of the effects are silly and simple. But it's definitely got a cheesy charm to it all. Honestly, as long as the effects meet the tone of the rest of the film, I'm usually on board with whatever they want to deliver. And tonally, this movie is pretty consistent. There's also slightly more than the bare minimum skin, but whether or not you actually wanted it remains to be seen. We see Drago's girl get her shirt ripped open, as well as a fully naked bag-packing segment. But they also cram in a totally unnecessary love scene between Cinder and the deputy. At one point, while running from the Nightbeast, Cinder falls into a ravine, injuring his leg, and Lisa takes him back to her place to patch him up.
It's a nasty gash you have there.
And apparently, nasty gashes turn her on because she jumps the sheriff after a quick shower, giving us one of the most awful obligatory sexy times I've had on the show. I'm guessing there's a reason this poor gal only has one movie to her name. As for the music, I sure do enjoy its old school simplicity. The spooky synth, the goofy horns. Just like the gore, the movie sticks to the movie's tone, making the entire project quite cohesive in spite of its lesser quality. Although one thing I cannot forgive this movie for doing, and that's borrowing some of the score from 1977's The Incredible Melting Man.
Gotta squeeze through here.
Ted Nelson.
Ted Nelson.
Ted Nelson. Nelson.
And while we're talking music, I should point out that one of the two people involved with the music department for this one was a certain Jeffrey Abrams. Today he goes by J.J. Abrams. But this was his very first movie credit. Nightbeast is definitely a fun little romp of a movie, and it gets a glowing, throbbing recommendation from yours truly. As far as so bad it's good movies, it may not attain the same levels that something like Troll 2 achieves, but I think it would pair very well with it in a double feature. It's silly in that we tried to do something serious sort of way that just oozes the kind of charm I love to see in bad films. And I will always take a laughably bad movie that tried over a movie that was an intentional attempt at being bad. And that brings us to the bottom of another abominable barrel, my beauties. Time for me to take off. So until I return with another rancid repertoire, this is your crusty, clowny compatriot Sugarpants. See you in your dreams. Nightbeast, a sickly space saga about an extra testy extraterrestrial. Oh shit, terrestrial.